Hi everyone, welcome to Dividing Complex Numbers. This is Nicholas JMV. So this is just a supplement to my complex videos complex numbers video. So I assume that you have a little bit of knowledge of dividing, so I'm not going to redo what a conjugate is and things like that, but let's go ahead and get started on this. So I've got two examples. And the first one, I'm going to divide 4 plus 5i by 8i. So there's a single term here, and in part B, there's a double term. Okay, so the idea of dividing complex numbers is we're going to get rid of that I term. We're going to get that out of the denominator in both cases. So let's go ahead and look at part A. So I have 4 plus 5i divided by 8i. And what I'm going to do here is apply my definition of what a fraction is. I am going to actually split this up into two pieces, two fractions, like so. And you can do this just by the definition of fractions. Okay, so I've split them up, and now comes the part where I need to simplify each. So I'm going to start on the left. I know that 4 goes into itself once, 4 goes into 8 twice. Okay, so that left part of this term becomes 1 over 2i. Okay, plus, now I got to simplify the right. Well, the 5/8 does not simplify. Okay, let's see what happens when you have I divided by I. Well, I goes into itself once, I goes into itself once here, and there we go. We have a simplified answer. To write this in standard form, we would switch places using the commutative property, so 1 over 2i. There we go. Watch out here, sometimes when people simplify this, they'll put that I in the numerator. Okay, just be careful, that I is going to stay down here. There's nothing up top, so that I stays. Now, part B, we're going to take 3 plus 2i and divide it by 1 minus 5i. So when you divide these, there's two things that you have to know. You have to know a conjugate, what a conjugate is. Okay, and the second thing you really got to know or remember is that I squared equals -1. Okay, and because I wrote that, I'm going to actually just go down here and again, for the third time, rewrite this problem so I have some space. Okay, so what I'm going to do is multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. Remember, we want to get rid of the I in the denominator. So the conjugate is the same exact number except the sign in the middle is different. So instead of having 1 minus 5i, we're going to multiply everything by 1 plus 5i. And then it becomes a distributive property all the way through. So we're going to take 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 5i is 15i. 2i times 1 is 2i. And the last term I'm going to put in red because I take 2i times 5i, which is 10i squared. And then I've got to divide the denominator, or multiply the denominator out. Same thing, distributive property. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5i, 5i. Negative 5i times 1, minus 5i. And last but not least, negative 5i times 5i is negative 25i squared. We know that I squared is -1. So 3 plus 15i, I'm going to leave everything. That plus 10i becomes 10 times -1. So this becomes minus 10. Leave everything in the denominator. Minus 25 becomes minus 25 times -1, negative 25, and you subtract that becomes positive 25. And this is all knowing the fact that I squared is -1. Now combine like terms. 3 plus -10, or 3 minus 10 is -7. 15i plus 2i is 17i. Over the middle terms cancel out here. Their additive inverses. 1 plus 25 is 26. So that's two more examples of how to divide complex numbers. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and we'll see you next time.